you're a professional?
Are you?
That's it, Clark. Show him who's boss.
Oh, we're all in this together.
Good day, YouTube. What's going on? Welcome back to the Clark Griswold YouTube channel. I am, as always, Mr. Clark Griswold. Thank you guys for being here today. If you are new to this channel, new to trading, or new to the Strat, guys, we are about to change the way you trade in the stock market, okay? If you haven't done so below, click that subscribe button and then hit that bell. That bell is the important part. It will give you the notifications for when I send out videos just like this one every single day just for you guys, okay? This is our watch list for Tuesday, June 28th. I send these videos out for you guys every day. I send out top 5 plays as well. I send out weekly swings, monthly swings. Guys, I got over 200 videos for you guys to learn to trade in the market, and this is the easiest way by far that you guys will find to trade in the stock market. We don't use indicators, okay? We use triggers, we use targets, we use what the candlesticks tell us to do, okay? So I've got videos on what these candlestick numbers mean, entries and exits, trade reviews, how to trade double inside bars, outside bars, Sarah Strat Sniper's 50% rule, how to trade the 30 and 30. It's a reversal on the 30-minute chart coined by Paul Ituaro, the hashtag 30 and 30. I've got 4 videos on that. I've got 2 videos on how to play morning gaps. The list goes on and on and on and on. And I've got a plethora of videos for you guys to learn from. Okay, if you want more information, you can follow me on Twitter as well. I send out trade updates on there before they happen for you guys. I'll retweet them. I'll tweet them. I'll let you guys know what's going on, what I'm jumping into, what I came away with, whether it was a win or a loss. I don't always win. I lose too, okay? People lose in the stock market. It's just part of the game. It's keeping those losses small that will make you a successful trader, okay? So I love making these videos for you guys. I really, really do. I don't know if it's passion, we can call it a passion, but I just really, really enjoy doing it for you guys. And it does take up a lot of my time, and I want to keep it free for you guys. So I don't want to start charging for a Discord or charging for courses. I want to try and keep this as free as possible. So in order to do that, I would ask you guys one small favor, that when you see those 15, 30-second ads, just please watch them. I know they suck and they're annoying, but when you watch those ads, the advertisers pay for you guys to learn this stuff and to keep this stuff free, okay? So watch those ads and keep this free, and let's get started on this list because there are a ton of plays. There also will be a top 5 list as well, okay? So we'll start with SPY. SPY had a 2 up that finished red. So a 2 up means we crossed only the high side of the previous candle, so that's the 2 up, and then we finished red. So we had a failed 2, and we have full time frame continuity. So that's this day, week, month, quarterly, and yearly. Okay, and this is a good sign if we want this stock to trend down, which we are looking for on this 2-2 reversal. So we are going to look for a 2 down, meaning the bar will only break below the previous candle. So when this new bar opens up, we're going to want it to trigger and then hit our targets as we've got outlined here. Okay, so targets 1, target 2. You notice this target is not at the bottom of the wick like everything else. It's at the top because we have this gap. The gap meaning there's no candle to fill this space. So when there's no candle, we have to fill that gap, or most times we would fill that gap. So this becomes your new target, and then your next target would go to the bottom side of that same candle. Like, let me put that in there for you guys, just like that, okay? And we'll change this to green. If you're looking for the indicator here with this time frame continuity, you can click on your indicator tab and type in time frame continuity, author is board rider B. If you want the candlestick numbers, type in candle type the strat, author is crinklebind. Now, for those of you who want something a little different, just before we continue on even further here, you can type into that column, where is it here? The Strat Teach V2, the Strat being all one word, and I'll show you guys what that gives us here. So there we go. So that's what the Strat V2 gives us. It gives us the two candles with the direction, with the arrows of which way it's going. Two up, two up, two up, a 3-bar, which breaks the high and the low of the previous candle. Then we've got a 2 up, here's a 2 down, and it'll also show us 1 bars. And then it also has this down here, which has your time frame continuity on the day, week, month, quarterly. Okay, and it gives you an actionable signal. And a lot of times this says no, but this guy's right here is an actionable signal. It's a 2 up, 2 down reversal that's possible off of this play here. Okay, so you guys can use that one as well. I don't use it, but there's nothing wrong with it. It works really, really well. Okay, so that's on SPY. American Airlines is, or sorry, AA is Alcoa. So Alcoa, same thing, 2 up, finished red, full time frame continuity to the downside, triggers at 48.74. And guys, most of the plays, this is what we're going to see today, is this 2 up that finished red. And Rob Smith would call this a 2-2 on a Tuesday. So we're looking for a bunch of 2-2 reversals on Tuesday. 2 up, 2 downs is the majority of them, okay? The only one I think that I saw in the opposite direction was Space, SPCE. It had a 2 down that finished green, so that has a possibility of trending up tomorrow. Not on our list, but you guys can go check it out. American Airlines, AAL, 2 up, finished red. Trigger here on the yellow line at $13.38. We have not, these two pink lines here are the triggers for the weekly inside bar. So if we go to the weekly, we can see here we've got this inside bar, and we did not trigger today. We tagged it, did not trigger, okay? So we're still inside bar on the week. Go back to the day. So this still has a possibility of breaking down to this downside. And if we trigger here and hit second targets down here, there is your first target, second target being at this pink line. That would trigger your weekly to the downside, or we just have a continuation up off of this inside bar, so a 2-1-2 continuation, and then we trigger the weekly to the upside. But our time frame is currently all red. Okay, Apple is up next. Apple, same thing, 2 up, finish red, full time frame to the downside, puts at 140.97. First target here, second target, we need to fill that gap again, so the top of the candle, okay? Airbnb, ABNB is a ticker symbol, inside bar, full time frame to the downside, calls at 104.17, puts at 99.33. We do have this pink trigger at our second target. Realistically, I think I would call that, just because this is so basically the same. This is our first target here. So the first target is also the trigger for the weekly to the upside. If that happens, the day and the week would both be green, which is what I look for on a day trade. I like to see the day and the week for sure be green, and then anything after that is a bonus to show us confluence that that trade is going to have a higher probability of working out and being a successful trade. Adobe, ADBE, 2 up, finished red. So again, we're looking for puts at 379.34, and we've got our targets marked out here for you guys. And I don't know if you guys keep your charts up while we're doing the videos and mark them out yourself. That's fine to do, or you can do them after. Full time frame again to the downside. AFRM. And guys, I gotta tell you, I didn't even put all these plays on here. There was way too many that were exactly just like this. 2 up, reds, and we were looking for the reversal back to the downside, okay? So AFRM, full time frame down, puts at 21.91. Now, I'm gonna go through the rest of these fairly fast unless we come to an inside bar or a 3-1 setup, which we've got. But puts at 85.25 on AMD, full time frame to the downside. Amazon, now that the split happened, the options on this are a lot cheaper. We're not looking in the thousands, we're looking in the hundreds again. So puts on Amazon with this 2 up that finished red, failed 2, 112.70 we can take the puts at. BA is Boeing. Boeing has an inside bar. Okay, so let's talk about inside bars. Those of you who follow me and have followed me, you know all about inside bars. For those of you that are new, let's go through this real quick. So an inside bar or a 1 bar does not break the high or the low of the previous candle. It stays within the range of the previous candle, and this is true on all time frames. It doesn't matter what we're looking at. An inside bar is an inside bar. Just like an outside bar is an outside bar, a 2 up is a 2 up, and a 2 down is a 2 down. The same on every time frame. Okay? So we stay within the range, and so the inside bar shows a tightening range and shows consolidation within the stock, meaning it does not know which direction it's going. It's a tightening range, and when you think of this tightening range, I want you guys to always picture this inside bar as a spring, and a spring coiling and getting tighter, 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 and then when you let go of that spring, it jumps to one direction or the other. And when I became good at trading options, it was because of those inside bars, and that's all I used to look for. Okay, and we can go back and look at history off of inside bars. This is a 3-1 setup, but we're still going to look off of this inside bar for now. We had a nice, really nice run down. This inside bar gapped up, but it was a really nice run up for 2, 3, 4, 5, a bunch of days. Okay, so inside bars are very, very powerful. And they're good setups to take. This one was an outside bar, so that one wasn't a great play. I'll look at a couple more here, okay? Inside bar turned into an outside bar. And this, me going back, guys, I'm just showing you that this stuff works, but it's also not foolproof, okay? Like, nothing's guaranteed in the market to work, but we play off of probabilities. So this was a gap up. It wouldn't have mattered. This one looks like it gapped as well, but this inside bar had a nice run up. And even if we go back, look at one more, here's a perfect example where they don't always work. This wasn't an outside bar, but we trended down. And again, realistically, I'll just show you guys. That was our target. So that was a break, that was a target. We tagged the target. Okay, right here, we tagged it exactly. So it did what it was supposed to do. There just wasn't great magnitude or movement from the trigger to the target. And that's one of the other things I look for when I enter a trade. I want to make sure that the target, meaning, I'll put it in here for you because we don't have them. If it goes to the upside, that's our target. So I want to make sure there's some room for us to make some moolah off of this trade. Okay, and same thing to the downside. I want to make sure there's some room there. So there is room here, 30, I don't know what we have there, 20, 25 cents or so. And to the upside, we've got, well, it's over $1. So there is room for this stuff. And that's for sure part of what I look at. When we look at this, we can call it magnitude. You can call it a pivot point. You can call it a target. You can say that's where the bears have their stop losses, or down here where the bulls have their stop losses. But I like to see that little bit of a gap there for us to actually get some money and some gain off of that. Because a lot of times what happens is we hit that first target and then it reverses on us. So that's another reason I'll always tell you guys to make sure you guys are taking profit at these targets. And if you break through this target, then this becomes your new stop loss instead of here or, down here somewhere, okay? And that's the way I play it. So you can mark out more targets here, and then if you break up, here's just another example. We put this target in here, so we break up through this second target. Well, now this second target becomes your stop loss, okay? And I've got a ton of videos, the review videos, guys. Go check out the trade review videos, because those will show you a lot of times where I'm thinking about getting in and out of a trade. Okay, so here we move to BAC. So BAC has an inside bar, but it's preceded by outside bar. So these 3-1 setups, these also, they're very rare. Okay, they don't happen very often, and they're super powerful. Okay, so again, it's off of an inside bar. We take the break to the high or to the low, calls at 32.58 or puts at 31.91. But when we get these 3-1 setups, we're looking for a 3-1-2. I believe Rob Smith calls it the Chicago because that's the area code of Chicago, and that's where he is from. But you can look here off of this 3-1. It was a gap, but it was a really nice gain off of that gap. And that was in May. So we had to go back to May to find that one. To find the next one, like, we are traveling back in time. Like, there's not even one on here, guys, and we're in March of last year on BAC. Okay, so I think we might have one here. Well, there's a bunch now that are setting up right in this range. Okay, but I'm not going to go over these because I got to zoom in, but you can see here there's a few that run through here, but outside of that one in May, it looks like December of 2020 and January of 21. So well over a year before we really found any of these outside of these two right here. Okay, so they're a rare pattern, they're a powerful pattern. So, and again, any of you guys follow me, you know I put out my top 5 list. You know these 3-1 setups will always be on my top 5 list, okay? For sure they will be, because they tend to be really, really profitable for the most part, okay? Probabilities tell us that. Okay, so now we're back on Citigroup, and again, we're back to these 2 up reds that failed. So we're looking for 2 downs at 47.25 puts. Okay, CCL, I believe CCL was an inside bar. It is. So again, you guys know all about these inside bars. Calls at 1081, puts at 1019. We have the full time frame to the downside, all red. Okay, and then we set our first target. And remember I talked to you about magnitude? This is really good. And guys, you don't need to, I know we should be hitting these targets, but if you go back and look at my lucid trade that I set up, my review trade, I took profits in this range here on my lucid trade because I was at 25 and 38%. Okay, so if I'm getting 25 and 38%, and then that's where it reversed on me. So I took the 25, I didn't hit a target, but it was at 25%, and I wanted to secure some profit. And then I took the next one at 38% because I wanted to secure some profit. So I took 50%, and then I took another 25, so I had 25% of my trade left riding. It broke up, passed into a reverse signal, and I sold the rest. Okay, so it's okay to take profit before you hit these targets. Like, if you guys are getting 20% on a trade plus, that's golden, guys. You need to take those every chance you get. And like I said, I've always said this, if you can get 20% a day for 5 days, that's 100%. Okay? If you put in $1,000 on every trade at 25% or at 20%, you just doubled your money in a week. You made $1,000 in a week. Okay? So those small gains lead to big, big profits in the long run, okay? And that's kind of how we have to look at things. Don't worry about those guys that are posting 7, 8, 900,000% plays, because they don't happen all the time. Okay? They do happen, but you'll be better off if you consistently hit those base hits, those 20%ers, 30%ers, 15%, okay? So again, back to Chewy, CHWI, another 2 up finish red, puts at 37.08. Then we've got CL. I'm going to start ripping through these because we're already about 20 minutes into this video. Inside bar on CL. Time frame continuity is all to the upside, outside of the year. Okay, so we can take calls at 80.34, puts at 79.36. We've broken through the monthly trigger already. You can see here, there's our monthly trigger. So we're through that as well. So we're 2 up on the month. Sorry, we're a 3 bar on the month. That's what that white square means. But we are all green, okay? So probabilities tell us that this thing is going to trend up tomorrow, but we will see what happens on that. CRM is up next. CRM has a 2 up that finished red. puts at 180.37. Cisco, CSCO, 2 up, red, puts at 43.63. And get, guys, this is all going to be the same. Every trade we go through here, full time frame, 2 up, 2 down reversal is what we're looking for. DIA, the diamonds, Dow Jones Industrial ETF, 2 up, red, full time frame down, 313.45 puts. Disney, 2 up. Oh, sorry, Disney is an inside bar. So Disney has an inside bar. We can take calls at 98.23, puts at 95.85. The time frame is to the downside on that one. DraftKings, DKNG, 2 up, red, full time frame outside of the month is red, puts at 13.29. EW, Edwards Life Sciences, 2 up, red, full time frame down, puts 95.75. Ford Motor Company, 2 up, red, full time frame, puts at 11.90. Facebook or Meta, 2 up, red, full time frame. It's the exact same thing over and over and over, guys. And I could have put 70 plays up here for you guys to look at. Puts at 168.01. KO is Coca-Cola, 2 up, red, full time frame outside of the quarterly and the yearly, puts at 62.65. Lyft 2 up, red, full time frame, puts at 15.77. MS is Morgan Stanley inside bar, full time frame to the downside, calls at 78.40, but puts are more probable based on the time frame. That would be the better trade with great magnitude to the downside, puts at 76.95. Microsoft, 2 up, red, puts at 263.28 full time frame. Pins 2 up, red, puts at, where are we looking? Puts $20.45 full time frame outside of the month. Palantir has an inside bar. PLTR calls at 10.16, puts at 9.51, full time frame outside of that month to the downside. Plug Power, 2 up, red, puts at 17.61. PayPal has an inside bar. So we can take this inside bar for puts at 75.32 with this full time frame, or calls at 78.45. QQQ has a 2 up red, full time frame, puts 291.16. So it's possible we could see a very red market. It's also possible we could see a lot of 3 bars coming off of these things, okay? So, and I think, I can't remember what he calls these. 2, 3, I can't remember. Anyways, Starbucks puts at 77.29, full time frame to the downside. We have a few left here, and it starts to get interesting with some of these. So SLB, actually this was called out by one of my followers. He brought it up to me. And Cyberdog, so a double inside bar, showing consolidation for 2 straight days. And guys, these are even more rare than anything that I've showed you guys, and we even had a triple inside bar on a play the other day. But if we are to go back and try and find the next one, or the previous one right here, this gap down and had a ridiculously nice run here. And then we got one more here, this double inside bar with a beautiful run up. Okay, so again, we're showing consolidation for 2 straight days. And we look for explosiveness and for those stocks to really run. And again, we had one here off of the break and a great run to the downside. And they don't always work. We had one, I think it was a Friday. It was one day we had about 5 or 6 plays that were double inside bars, and they all ended up being garbage. They never worked out. And that's the nature of the beast. They don't always work. Okay, and sometimes you get stopped out, and it is what it is. So we've got this double inside bar on SLB. Calls at 35.99. The day and the week are both green. Okay, I haven't put the targets on here, but there's our first target to the upside. And if it trends down for puts at 34.92, there is our first target to the downside. But, and as the Twitter follower pointed out, we have reached the bottom of a broadening formation. Okay, if you don't know how to draw these, go check out the broadening formation video I've got, or Rob Smith's, or anybody's, okay? But you can see higher high to a lower low, then we came back up, now we're back down, and we're off of this double inside bar. Could be a great possible reversal signal to trend back up off of this thing, especially with the day and the week being green. So you guys know, double inside bars, they will be on my top 5. Okay, no question. And then Twitter has an inside bar as well. So Twitter we can take, let me zoom in here for you guys. Twitter we can take calls at 39.88, puts at 38.90, and we've got that time frame to the downside on Twitter. Uber has a 2-up red, puts at 22.37 with the full time frame to the downside. Wells Fargo has a inside bar. We can take calls at 40.99. We do have that full time frame to the downside, so we can take puts at 39.90 on WFC. And then this one I sniffed out myself, another double inside bar. So you know this will be on our top 5 play, and we've already gone through the double consolidation, the double inside bars, or the double 1 bars, and these are getting so tight. It's a tightening range. So I don't like to draw this, but just to give you guys an example, this is what we've got going on. Okay? So at some point, this is going to explode up or down outside of this triangle. And that triangle is not really part of the strat, but to give you guys an idea of how that works, that's what we're looking at. I mean, these things, as you've seen, as I've gone over already, tend to just move, okay? Probabilities, and again, nothing's foolproof. Nothing always works, but they're rare, and when we see them, we should be jumping on them and looking for an opportunity. And opportunity is knocking. We better at least look through the peephole and see what's going on. So there's a double inside bar here. Okay, I'll zoom in a little bit on this one. Inside bar, 1 target, 2 target, and we didn't hit that 3rd target, but we went through 2 targets. Okay, so that was a successful trade. I'll see if I can find one more on here. Double inside bar. Okay, we opened way up here on this gap, and I'm guessing if we would have played a gap off of this, we would have had a really good trade. Let's see if we can find one that didn't gap. Here we go, inside bar, but again, we gapped way up to here and trended up. Okay, so you probably could have played that one as well. And let's just skim back here to see if we can find one more where we didn't gap. And that's what I mean, guys. We're already back into April of 2020. Still nothing. I'm not going to go back much further here. These gold bars represent the 3-1 setups, okay? And the blue ones represent 1-3 setups. Here we go, right here. January 17th, 2019. Okay, let's see what we got on this GDX. Double inside bar, and we gap down, but looks like you would have had a really good play there. Anyways, if these gap, guys, you don't have to play them. But there is a gap video, 2 of them. You can play the gaps off the 15-minute or the 30-minute. Go watch that video on how to make the morning gaps work for you, okay? So again, calls at 29.58, puts at 29.09. Where am I at for time here? I'm running out. But that was the last play, guys. So that was your main list. I do have a top 5. You know those double inside bars will be on there. That 3-1 will be on there, plus a couple more. So make sure you guys are watching for that. Thank you for watching this one. I appreciate you guys very, very much. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Subscribe down below. Watch those ads. Give me a thumbs up, and we will see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.